Hey, what's good, y'all? What's good, man? We gonna just turn this down. We gonna rock out. What's good? What's good? Cool water swish. RC, what's good? What's good? I miss my glorious. I miss you too, Derpy. How you doing, bro? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Did I finish the movie, bro? I haven't had time to sit down and watch a movie in a good 3 weeks, man. I haven't watched shit. Same channel? Same channel? You've been messaging me on Insta. Oh, I just seen it. I just accepted that. What's good, bro? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh, man, we got some stuff to talk about today, man. Shit. Oh, man. Should be with G. What you mean? Man, this room is such a mess, bro. Yeah, send me the link. 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 Let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, man. Hey, man, I gotta tell y'all, if my moral of this story the other day, right? My little tip for moving is don't move. Because I swear to God, you move and a bunch of shit goes wrong. You end up, how much you calculate that you think you're going to spend, that's not what you're going to spend. Add to it. Overestimate and keep on overestimating, because random shit's gonna happen that you're not expecting. Our car just stopped working. And thank God I got AAA, so they got it to start. But I got the little thing on the dash. I don't know if it's because the systems are all messed up or if I actually got to go get it checked out and serviced. So it's been a headache, but hey, man, we keep pushing on. I know I sound like shit. I know I sound like shit, so just bear with me. But we do have We do have a lot to talk about today. We had some incredible games last night in the NBA. But we also got some big picture things to talk about when it comes to the league. So we're gonna talk all about, we're gonna talk about all of that today and more. But this is probably I want to start somewhere. That's not necessarily it's basketball related, kind of. And let me see here. So, as y'all know, sneakers are a big part of basketball and sports in general, but really basketball, right? It's a massive part of basketball. Excuse me. And recently, let me actually pull up the tweet itself so we could look at it. Right here. Oh, where is it? God damn. It can't be this old, bro. There's no way it's this old. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the actual tweet itself. Nico getting fired. Cool. 76ers. Bradley Beal. Oh, yeah. GG's to Bradley Beal, man. Goodness gracious, bro. That's just some unfortunate shit. Ankle sprain. Oh, here it is. All right. So we're going to start right here. Golden State Warriors star Steph Curry and Under Armour have parted ways, ending their long-standing partnership. Curry's standalone endeavor, Curry Brand, will move forward independently. Curry's shoes through Under Armour will continue as planned through 2026, but he and his company, Curry Brand, are entering sneaker free agency. And so, like I said, this is a massive part of basketball is the sneakers. And so probably one of the biggest athletes that we have in the NBA is currently a sneaker free agent. And we saw him rocking some Kobe's. So big news. Under Armour will no longer be in competition, essentially. And Steph Curry is a sneaker free agent. I gave you the link. I can give you highlights of the last 2 weeks. Send me a link also. Send me a link for both. But this is big news, man. This is big news, and I think along with a lot of other people, probably want to see Steph Curry on Nike, which is where he should have been from the beginning. But if I'm Nike, I have to consider a lot when it comes to this decision on signing Steph Curry or not. I know it seems like such a no-brainer. It seems like, duh, of course you sign Steph Curry if you have a chance to. But I don't think it's that simple, and here's why. What's good, Elijah? What's good? How you doing, bro? Welcome in. What you think about Steph Curry rocking some Mambacitas? What you think about Steph Curry potentially being a Nike athlete? So we're going to be talking about Nike athletes today. If I'm Nike, my first question to Steph Curry is, how long do you plan on playing? That's question number one, right? That's question number one, and here's why. Steph Curry is 37, I believe, right? Steph Curry is 37. And so he's already played out most of his career, right? We're already talking about retiring. How much longer is he going to play with the Warriors? How much longer is he going to play, period? With that means you're not going to want to sign Steph Curry if he's only going to play for 2 more years. Because on any Nike billboard or marketing that you want to use, you can't really use old highlights of Steph Curry. Because in all of those highlights, he'd be wearing Under Armour. And so even after Steph Curry retires, it'll be really tough to have retros and to sell a whole bunch of sneakers that, frankly, Steph never played in. And so I would tread this very lightly if I'm Nike. I think it seems very obvious that you would want to sign him. But like I said, I don't think it's that simple because you're talking about a guy at the end of his career. It's not a 30-year-old Steph Curry that's a sneaker free agent. And you're saying, all right, we got a good 5, 7, 8 years at least of this guy playing at a high level, which in those years you can have a whole montage of him in Nike sneakers, right? So I will say I think that it's really cool, but again, we're talking about a guy that's on the verge of retiring, and if you are one of these big brands, do you really want to sign an athlete whose highlights you can't use because 99% of those highlights are in a different sneaker in a different brand? So that would be my line of thinking. I don't know if these guys are thinking the same way, but I would be thinking twice about this. There's no way he's 37. Did I flip him with... Nope, he's 37. 37 years of age. Steph Curry is 37 years old. Yeah, send a link for the highlights as well, too. And so... yeah, I think it got everybody really excited seeing him shooting around in some Kobe's and whatnot. But again, I think it's just a tough ask. It's a really, really tough ask because, like I said, you can't use all of his previous highlights. He's in Under Armour and all of those, right? Any championship highlight, MVPs, all Under Armour. Not to mention the fact that he ended up on Under Armour because of those early injuries, so that Nike just didn't want to, so he ended up with a different brand. So again, I would be second guessing whether or not I would be signing a Steph Curry to a sneaker deal at 37. But someone who's not 37 and someone who's apparently re-signing with Nike is Cade Cunningham. So let's hear what this conversation is.
Saying that you signing back with Nike.
This is true.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're going to get your own signature shoe. That's true?
That's true, bro. Hey,
bro. I'm so happy for you, dog.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you want me to tell you, but we had a conversation this summer.
Yeah,
you called me.
We did. Bro, the fact you picked up that phone call, though.
Come on, dog.
Bro, it's so real, fam.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog.
No, like, for real, bro.
We were just talking about the Nike game and what it means and, like, how important that is to us. For you to get your own shoe.
Bro.
And for you to have a legacy. Like, you know how big that is, bro?
Bro. It's hard. I mean,
a signature athlete at Nike, bro.
I haven't really, like, grasped it yet. You know what I'm saying?
That's incredible. You got the one of the coldest logos I've ever seen.
He do.
Appreciate that, bro.
He really
So I know
do.
I know you're gonna create some dope stuff. But congratulations, dog.
Thank you, bro.
That's insane. When you think it, 2 years? You think?
Initially, I was told 18 months.
That's fire.
So I can't wait, bro.
That's fire. Make sure you hands on with all designs, man. All that, like, this shit is.
So, Cade Cunningham is getting his own signature shoe. And, you know, for all of the old heads, right? For all the old heads that have complained for years that players are getting sneakers, players are getting contracts, players are getting X, Y, and Z before they've proven themselves in the NBA. Well, you have a situation that now falls in line with that old line of thinking, right? Cade Cunningham, over the last 2-3 years, has really solidified himself as a premier player in the NBA. He didn't do it by ending up on a big market team. He didn't do it because there were massive trades and a bunch of star players to help him. We got to remember, this is the same team that lost 20... How many games in a row was that? 28 games in a row is what they lost. To go from that team, and a lot of these players are the same, right? Obviously, all of them aren't the same, but there's a lot of players on that roster that are still on the Detroit Pistons today. So, to go from that situation to now Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. He's playing incredible, right? Had the 46-point game just a couple weeks ago in the win, despite shooting 45 times. Like, all of these things seem to be coming at the right time. And now there's, I guess you could call it an announcement for his signature shoe, which seems like a payoff for all of his hard work after he's proven himself in the NBA. And I gotta admit, I think that narrative has been kind of played out. I think guys have shown value in having a sneaker deal in the NBA. Not everybody, but I think this is a great example of a player that has really, one, grown, but two, I remember him in an interview talking about wanting to be one of the best players in the world, right? And it was a very candid comment. It was honest, but it wasn't it wasn't in a way where he was bragging, where he was being arrogant. It was in a very genuine sentiment that really said, this guy really does want to be one of the best, if not the best player in the world. And everything that he's done has really shown that. And I got to give him a lot of credit. I got to give the Detroit Pistons a lot of credit. Jalen Duren has been unbelievable this year. Man, shout out to Cade Cunningham. Hopefully he gets some really sick sneakers, and we'll see how his brand is able to build in Detroit, because yes, it is a small market, but I'm sure free agency comes around, teams are going to be calling. Teams are going to be calling for sure. So we'll see if he sticks it out in Detroit, or if he eventually goes to a different team, because we've seen time and again, right? These small market guys have a very tough time in being competitive year in and year out. And so hopefully Cade doesn't fall in that same in that same predicament, but we'll see what happens. It is Detroit basketball, and they have won a number of championships over the years, so we'll see what happens, man. I sent both playoff round highlights on Insta, and I sent a link to the sites, and the regional final will be streamed Friday night. Bet. We on that, baby. We on that. So shout out to those guys. Hopefully, you know, Steph finds a good spot, and then, you know, hopefully Cade can really put out some really cool, man. Some really cool. I feel like sneakers in the last couple of years have been really cool. Shay's had some cool shoes. Anthony Edwards, Josh shoes were pretty cool. So I feel like we've had a pretty good run in recent memory, compared to years prior. But moving right along, because there was this game, man. I got so much to say. I got so much to say about this Rockets Magic game, man. Man, what a game. Man, what a game. So the Orlando Magic, I'm still in football mode, not gonna lie. You and a lot of other people are as well too, so I'm not too surprised about that. But hey, man, NBA is right here. Whenever y'all ready to lock in, I'm locked in, baby. Whenever y'all are ready to lock in, I'm locked in. This is an unbelievable game, y'all. I can't even lie to you. What was it? Oh, these are the fourth quarter shots. I mean, man, these were some unbelievable plays for this game. And did this get moved over by accident? Where's the OT shot? There's the shot in OT. Where the fuck is it? All right, well, I guess it's not there, so let's pull it up. Excuse me. Thompson sets. So the Houston Rockets beat the Orlando Magic 117-113 off the backs of Kevin Durant, who had 35, 5, and 6, shot 54% from the field, 25% from three. And Alperen Sengun was absolutely phenomenal. He had 30 points to go with 12 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 blocks. One of them was massive. We're going to talk about the turnover in just a second as well, too, but I got to give the Houston Rockets a lot of credit, but I got to give a lot of credit to this Orlando Magic team for really for scrapping. I mean, they hit some big shots down the stretch. There were some bonehead plays for sure. But really fighting to try to win this game without Paolo Banchero. But let's get into it, man, because, you know, everyone talks about Jokic, right? And I think Sengun gets the baby Jokic tag, even though I don't think it's necessarily warranted, because I think they don't really play alike. Jokic is just a whole different breed. I think Sengun is just a different player as well too. But I mean, the moves this guy has in the post, you know, everyone talks about post game is dead. There's no more bigs, but to see moves like this make somebody like me smile. And here's the other thing, right? Don't you hate running into a player that is slow as hell, but when they make certain moves, they look like the fastest guy on earth. Like Sengun is not a fast player, but look at this fake spin into the shot.
Backs him in.
I mean, look at that. I mean, he literally gets him moving. I mean, look at how much room he's able to create in this. And obviously, you can't just leave Amen Thompson because this is an easy alley-oop or a pass.
Shake and bake again. Hit him with that
Which, by the way,
shimmy and
Sengun hits all the time to Amen Thompson. So, what a shot right there. I mean, like, this guy is unbelievable. And where's the... There was the turnover. Shit, where's this turnover that I had? All right. So let's go to the block and then the turnover, right? So he hit that shot, Sengun did.
Sengun defending Black. Now to Wagner. Thompson's on him.
And watch Sengun. Watch Sengun, right?
To Bain. Pressure by Okogie, who's back on the floor for this.
He already knows what's coming, and he's already moving in that direction. So you got to give him a lot of credit. Look at Amen Thompson dropping immediately as well, too. Just, you know, we talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder all the time, and guys looking like they just naturally know where to move. But Sengun, Amen Thompson, everyone just covering the gaps. But to go from that, right? To go from that to this right here is...
Oh, you had him. Oh, Thompson was open. Now to Durant, loses his footing. Oh my God, falls down. Picked up by Black, and he beats Sengun to the rim for the dunk.
I mean, you know, you make all the right plays and then you make a bonehead mistake like that. You just gotta love it, right? And, you know, all the credit to Sengun because he made up for it. He made up for it.
Looking. That's it. Oh, Sengun got the... That's it, I told you. The hook shot at the...
I mean, like, they knew exactly what was coming. They just completely spaced it out. Knew Kevin Durant would demand attention. Reed Shepherd was shooting. Jabari Smith has been shooting well as well.
Oh, Sengun got the...
It was a one-on-one. And he took advantage of it. So Sengun was unreal. The other thing I gotta show is this pass.
Rebound, Sengun took it away from Carter. Stays with the play, missed it. Tapped by Adams, tapped by Sengun. Sengun still has the ball. He's working behind the back now.
Yo, do y'all think that was on purpose or not? Do y'all think that pass was on purpose or
Sengun
not?
still has the ball. He's working, goes behind the back now.
I mean, that is just, this guy is unbelievable, bro. This guy is unbelievable. And then the one shot that Kevin Durant took in overtime.
Thompson sets the screen.
Yeah, get the fuck out of there, Thompson.
No, he doesn't. Durant still one-on-one. Durant into the paint. Durant rises up. Durant scores!
I mean, that's just money. That's easy work. That is easy work. That's what they got Kevin Durant for. That's what they got him for. He had a big three at the end of regulation as well, too. To help them keep that game within distance to get into overtime and finally win. And so you gotta, like I said, you gotta give a lot of credit to the Houston Rockets for scrapping Sengun and Kevin Durant. Their pick and roll it's so dangerous. Like the pick and roll that they have. Let's see if we can pull up. The pick and roll between Kevin Durant and Sengun is absolutely insane. Let me see here. Trying to find it right now. Let's see. It's probably on a Sengun assist because they are They were doing an unbelievable job. High pick and roll. This right here, this has got to be a nightmare to defend. This has to be a nightmare to defend. Reed Shepherd could shoot. Jabari Smith could shoot. Amen Thompson trying to get downhill, so you don't want to concede a layup right here, right? You don't want to concede a layup. You know Kevin Durant is here. We've seen Sengun turn this corner and get to the basket and make a play. So everyone on the floor right now is in a spot to be dangerous, right? So let it play out. Dribble handoff. That's already too much of a gap right here. Again, you got to stay at home with these two shooters, and putting Amen Thompson in the dunker spot. It's absolute. You can't leave him because Sengun can make the pass over the top, whether it's over the top or a bounce pass. Tristan Da Silva ends up helping out. Wide open corner three. And they run variations of this all night, whether it's a dribble handoff, whether it's Kevin Durant that has the ball and he's coming off of a pick and roll. They run some variation of this all night long. They even have one where Amen Thompson is on the baseline and Jabari Smith is spacing in the corner. And now you gotta pick and choose, right? Because if you do help out, Amen Thompson is gonna rim run the baseline for an easy dunk or a layup. Obviously you can't help off of the shooter. So this scenario right here will cause problems for teams all season long, and there really isn't a great way to defend it outside of just communicating and just trying to stay disciplined, right? You don't want to overcommit to anything. You don't want to be in a spot where you can't get back to your man. So, shout out to the Houston Rockets, man. Shout out to the Houston Rockets. What a game that was. What a hell of a fucking game that was. Now, where's this?
Quick.
The other overtime game was between the Utah Jazz and the Chicago Bulls, and Laurie with another 40-piece. This guy had 47 points. 47 points. And we got to give a lot of credit. Keontae George also had added 33. Had some defensive mistakes, I'm not going to lie. But hit the big shot at the end to win the game. And then on the other side, sometimes it really feels like they have 2 point guards on the floor when you're the Chicago Bulls, between Josh Giddey and Nikola Vucevic, he only had 2 assists in the game, but the way he's able to manage the middle of the floor, he does such a great job of it because he can get a shot off the floater and he can make pretty much every pass as a big from the middle of the court. So they use Vooch and they use Giddey really effectively. I know that they're not winning as much as they did in the beginning of the season, but 26 for Giddey, 27 for Kobe White, 21 for Vooch. And I gotta say, I remember saying there's no reason for me to really to have high hopes for Matas Buzelis, but averaging 15 points this year, 15 and 6, I believe, 15 and 7, something like that. Hey man, I guess we know ball over here. I guess we know ball. So let's take a look at some of the things that Lauri Markkanen was doing, which really makes this guy it really makes this guy hard to stop, man. So, you know, he hits a lot of corner threes. He gets into the basket. He's really all over the floor offensively. But we'll see on back-to-back possessions the way that they're able to kind of manipulate this scenario. And back-to-back plays, I should say.
Minutes left, Chicago.
So on this play, doesn't get over fast enough. Tries to go under. So you see, as they tell you in basketball, right? Go away from the pick.
Marketing. Looking for
and
40.
For your 7-footer to be able to hit shots like this is really, really impressive. It is really, really impressive for him to come off this pick, plant that left foot, plant that right foot and turn, and get that shot off. That is really, really impressive. And so that's what happens if someone goes under. Right? What happens if someone tries to go over and trail him?
Twice is the question.
And if you try to trail him,
picks it up. Here's Markkanen. He'll jump it up. 17.
He could just shoot it right in front of you. I mean, talk about an absolute headache that you have to deal with. Right? Same scenario. If you go under, he can pop out and hit a three.
Twice.
If you try to go over and if you try to chase him,
is the question.
He just shoots it over you because it's just too much space. I mean, this guy is on an absolute heater right now. I think he's 4th in scoring in the league at 30, at an even 30, behind Luka, Giannis, Shea, and then Maxey, and then I think it's Lauri Markkanen.
Picks it up. Here's Markkanen. He'll jump it up. 17.
I mean, what a unbelievable shot that was. That's the jump shot to win. What shot is this?
Pass to V, inside out, ball deflected. Shot clock at 6. Sends the ball. Drives inside.
Oh, yeah, what a fucking pass. Oh, my God, I almost forgot about this.
Inside out, ball deflected. Shot clock at 6. Sends the ball. Drives inside.
What a
Throws it
pass.
off to Markkanen. 3.
See, like, that don't even make sense. Like, that don't even make any type of sense. But let's go take a look at this game winner right here, man. Sheesh.
And then some sort of a screen.
You would think with 47, Lauri is getting this ball, right? You would think. And he's trying to call it into a pick and pop.
Markkanen hands it off. Keontae 3. Got it! Oh!
I mean, if there was a time to shoot, and maybe Lauri Markkanen and the coaching staff don't get mad, it's when it's a tied game, because realistically, he should get this basketball. But,
3.
And not for nothing.
Here's Collier.
Look at this scenario right here. He would have had a one-on-one from the middle of the court with essentially no one can help, right? Because you'd leave somebody open.
Hands it off. Keontae 3.
And he just hits a tough ass shot. And he just hits a tough shot. So you got to give a lot of credit to the Utah Jazz, man. They hit some really big shots down the stretch. And like I said, they were kind of picking on Keontae George on defense, making him overextend, jumping. he was jumping all over the place. People were getting by. So what a game, what a shot to win it. Wow. that was a sick shot. That was a sick fucking shot. So shout out to the Utah Jazz. Shout out to the Utah Jazz, man. Now, man, we're 39 minutes in. I also really wanted to, we can get into this right now. Because I was staring at the standings. And we can look at these standings together. All right, here it is. So we can look at the standings together. And the more I look at it, right, we have Detroit, New York, and Cleveland. And then we have the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Rockets. I know I had my question marks about Houston. I for sure had question marks about Houston. Still do. But the more I look at this, the more I think to myself, outside of the top 3 teams in each conference, every other team has major questions that they need to answer before they can make that step to being a contender. Right? I mean, look at every team down here. Atlanta, unproven. They've had a really rough couple of years. It's been a lot of up and down. Toronto, I know Black Canadian and Elijah have been gassing them up. 8-5 right now, but still a lot of question marks in my opinion, right? Philadelphia, as good as they've been, still the same. Tyrese Maxey's great. I don't know about everyone else. VJ Edgecombe is young. Paul George and Joel Embiid are obviously a massive question mark as well too. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis is great, but the rest of that team, we just don't know. When you look at the Western Conference, the Lakers, what have I said from the beginning? This team is not very good. Outside of Luka, outside of Austin Reeves and LeBron, whenever he decides to play, it's just not a great roster. The Spurs are young. Do I like the build of this team, the makeup of this team? They have a lot of really great guards. They have a great big. They have solid wings. They have a lot of really good pieces, but again, young and unproven. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Can Anthony Edwards make the jump from an all-star and a really popular player in this league to a legitimate MVP candidate, to where we are now talking about him in the best player conversations? Right? That is a massive question mark. The Golden State Warriors, again, very up and down. A lot of question marks on this roster. The Jonathan Kuminga situation, is that going to follow them the rest of the year? The lack of an athletic scoring wing that could really take some pressure off of Steph and Jimmy Butler, that is a massive question mark. And then Phoenix and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of question marks on these teams, in my opinion, outside of the top 3, right? The New York Knicks, in my opinion, they've had some really tough series over the last couple of years, which really builds a lot of experience. Cat is in his second year with the squad. Jalen Brunson is still unbelievable. This team, I think, is building towards being a really solid contender in this league. The Cleveland Cavaliers was the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference last year, and they are trying to build on top of that. Donovan Mitchell is still great. Even though I have question marks about this team, they've shown that they can win. Right? I get that regular season isn't everything, but you got to win. You have to learn how to win some way. And the regular season is as good a place to start when it comes to that. The Detroit Pistons, I think they have a legitimate player in Cade Cunningham who can really be one of the top players in the league, if not is already one of the top players in the league. They have an identity. They have role guys that know exactly what they need to do. If they can pick up a little bit more shooting by the end of the season, I think they'll be in a really, really good spot. So these 3 teams solidified their best players. They have their identities. It's just a matter of health. And can you figure out the other teams and execute down the stretch of the season when it comes to those 3 teams? For the West, I mean, we have the defending champions. There's really nothing much to say about the defending champions. They're the defending champions, and their best player is arguably the best player in the world. I'll say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I get Jokic, Giannis. There's a lot of names you could throw in there. But I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can comfortably throw his name in that hat at this point. And, you know, they have an unbelievable defense. Jalen Williams hasn't really played, still hasn't played, I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, he hasn't even played. Yeah, he's yet to play this season. So, and they're 13-1. The Denver Nuggets, also arguably the best player in the world, who a lot of people consider as the best player in the world in Jokic. I think they got better with Cam Johnson, and getting rid of Michael Porter Jr. because it was a relationship that's gone sour. So I think that was an upgrade. Jamal Murray's been playing better. They have the pieces, in my opinion, to really contend with the Thunder. And when you look at the Rockets, they just have so much talent. They just have so much talent between Kevin Durant, Sengun, and Amen Thompson. That is as talented a trio as you are going to have in the NBA. Just pure talent alone. Sengun can quite literally do it all. He could play point guard for you. He could be your scoring big. He could do so much for you at the center position, and he's really versatile. He's learning how to play with Kevin Durant. I mean, there's not much more I could say about Alperen Sengun. The guy is unbelievable. Kevin Durant has proven he is as steady as a player can be. So you can depend on him. He can hit big shots. He's gonna score. He's gonna do what he's got to do. So that's proven. And then Amen Thompson, I think even though he's young and there's questions, especially when it comes to his shooting and whatnot, his effort and his ability to make people look unathletic in the NBA is really impressive. And I think that they just have a ton of talent. Jabari Smith, Reed Shepherd. I mean, they have so much talent on this basketball team. It's really unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. So the way I'm looking at it right now, it's really looking like a 6-team race for the title. I will say, I think Minnesota's going to creep up in there. I think Golden State should move up a little bit as the season progresses. The real big question mark is the Los Angeles Lakers, right? How long can Luka keep these guys afloat? How will they look when LeBron gets back? Because there's going to obviously be that time where he's trying to get back into the flow of things. And really the biggest question mark will be Wemby's health and really just how good he is, right? Because when it comes to Wemby, if Wemby is a legitimate MVP candidate that's getting 28 to 30 points, being the defensive player that he is, add that with De'Aaron Fox, add that with Castle, Vassell, Dylan Harper. I mean, the list just goes on and on when it comes to the Spurs. They have a lot of really young talent. And, you know, what I like to say is sometimes you don't know any better when you get into the playoffs, and that could be very dangerous for the other team, right? The teams that don't understand that the pressure and the things that come along with being young, kind of like how the OKC Thunder went all the way to the finals with that young trio, right? So I think they're a really big question mark. The Spurs are. For the Eastern Conference, I mean, shit, the more I look at this, it looks like the Toronto Raptors are going to stay in the top 6. But really, it's whether or not Giannis can really pull this team together out of 7th. If he can get to the top 4, top 5 seeding. I think they'll be a tough out as long as Giannis could play in the playoffs. He hasn't been able to play in the playoffs as of late. So that's how it's really shaking down for me, honestly, man. Is those 6 teams, and then there's everybody else in the NBA. So that's what it's looking like for me at the moment. But yeah, man, I got one of those 6 teams right now. So we'll see how the season shakes out. I get that it's really, really early. It's still really, really early in the season, but it's very obvious to say to watch the top 3 teams in each conference. But I think this is a year where I'm not really seeing much out of 4 and down in each conference. I think they have a lot of holes that they got to fill, pause if necessary, in both scenarios. But hey, man, that's going to do it for me for now. Before I get out of here, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff if you have not done so already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as always. I'll be back here on Wednesday to talk some more basketball with you guys, man. I really appreciate it. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate you for that. So thank you so much. I will see you guys back here on Wednesday. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day, man. Peace.